Let's find out why Vane wanted to kill Xiaoxi. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the final episode, episode 6 of Link Click's Bridon arc. I have no idea when season 3 is going to end up coming, because every time I even try to look anything up nowadays, people are incorrectly calling the Bridon arc season 3, even though it's not. It is actively not season 3. But everyone's acting like it is, even though it's just like a little 6 episode, basically OVA, or I guess ONA, more accurately. It's not meant to be a full season because there's not enough content for that, I guess. But I can't look up any season 3 information because everything I see, every article, everything on Twitter is just calling this season 3. So it's like, I need to know when we're getting season 3, especially since, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be 24 episodes long, which is like double the length, pretty much, of previous seasons. That being said, we are finishing this out today. This isn't a double length episode. I did check on that. So, in this one episode, we're going to find out, everything, which I do think might be a little rushed, mind you. But maybe there just wasn't enough and they couldn't figure out a way to stretch it out for one more episode. I'm just worried that it's not going to be as satisfying because it goes so quickly. Because it's we have no idea at this point why Vane wanted to kill Cheng Xiaoxi. We have no clue. Nothing is ever said previously. We just see that that Vane had, and the other guy, I can't think of his name right now, they had a reaction when they were asking about stuff. But the last episode was more focused on, Chang finally seeing his father and everything, and it's we got almost nothing regarding the main plot. And I know some things are being set up for season 3. I understand that. I've talked about that before. But I just feel like we haven't gotten enough to really set up the main conflict of this arc. Because the arc is all about Lu Guang inheriting Cheng Xiaoxi's powers, going back in time, using them to stop whatever causes Vane to kill Cheng Xiaoxi. And while we've met with Vane now, we still have no idea what it fucking is. Unless we're just, not being told shit and Lu Guang knows what it is already. I have no clue. I'm wondering if this is just going to completely tie into season 3 and if we're not going to get all of our answers. I don't know. Because if it just feels like we should be getting a lot more than we have. But maybe that's the point. Maybe we don't get all the answers this arc. And this arc was just about starting to search for them. Starting to look into it. And then the next arc, which again takes place in the modern day again. That's going to focus more on finally connecting the clues from the past and everything. That's my guess. But the one thing that we definitely have to do here is to save Cheng Xiaoxi. That is the priority. Because the next season can't really go on unless that happens. So, as long as we do that, I guess we can wait to find out all the answers. Now, I said before, I think I said it just last time, that currently my ranking for the arc would be that this would be in between seasons 1 and 2, with season 2 is the best. And season 1, obviously not bad. I want to make that clear as always. Obviously a phenomenal season. I think that this one's a little better because of the information we're being given, because of the world building, the character building, the story building, all of that, which, as I've made clear in the past, is something that's a big deal to me in terms of any show that I watch. That's the kind of stuff that I tend to, find more important than anything else. So I think that this season does a little better at that. Season one was setting up a lot and was exploring Chang and Lu Guang's powers, which is important and good. And the setup for the plot lines and everything was fantastic, especially the stuff with regarding Emma. But I just want more, I want a little bit more to this. And I'm glad that season two really delved into that. And now the Bridon arc as well. Um, so I'm just hoping that this final episode lives up to everything else. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of where I'd place this right now. We're gonna get into it though. We're gonna see what this final episode has in store, and then we'll prepare for season three at some point in the future. Hopefully by the summer. I'm hoping it'll come in the summer season, but we'll see. Either way, let us get this going. Hold up just a second there. Before you click that link down in the description below to go to today's reaction, I just wanted to take this moment real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. Every single day of the week, we have some awesome Let's Plays for you. A bunch of different things to check out, and more coming in the future. And don't forget to click that subscribe button or like the video if you really enjoy the content I'm putting out. There will be more to come in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked something up because I was unclear. I wanted to see exactly like what it was saying and everything with Felix and all on the phone. It's like did he and the other guy, the other model who was fired, did they die? No, apparently they disappeared. So that's interesting. And we saw in the post credits that Vane is alive. Whatever Chris did to him, Wang Xing, whatever she did, it put him in a state of a death-like state, but didn't fully kill him. So he's probably behind their disappearance, I would wager. We did save Chang Xiaoxi. He got to meet and speak with both of his parents within this season. And we find out that his mother is actually trying to save his father from the fire a decade ago. And she's even working with Chris to do that. There is some envelope on the back of the painting that's very important, obviously. We have no idea what that is, though. Nothing about that was stated, so that's going to definitely delve into season 3. This Bridon arc was basically a bridging arc between seasons 2 and 3. We're going to continue with Liu Xiao, who came into character and everything in season 2. And we're bringing in the stuff from the Bridon arc, the kind of follow-ups from that. And it's pretty interesting because it seems like there's implications here that Liu Xiao is kind of pulling the strings behind everything with like the entire scene at the movie theater. And I'm kind of wondering if that means like he's behind literally everything that's happened with his brother, with the with the siblings in season 2. I can't think of their names right now. And even the cop in that. And of course now with Vane and everything too. I wonder if he's literally behind everything. We also see that that Wang Xing, again, Chris. I'm gonna go back and forth between their names, between her names. We see that she also has a power. While we saw that she was able to be possessed by Chang Xiaoxi's mother, we also see that after she, claps to leave, we see Chris use a power of her own on Vane. She said what sounded like a name, and I'm wondering, is that Vane's real name? Did we ever hear Vane's real name? I don't remember. But um, could her power be saying someone's name and then it causes temporary state of death? Or what if it's supposed to be death and somehow he avoided dying? There's a lot of questions that this raises. I talked about it in the pre-thoughts. I didn't think we were going to get every answer because we just didn't have the time. Um, but I said the main thing we have to focus on, the main thing we definitely have to do is saving Chang Xiaoxi, which did happen. We successfully did that. We saved Chang Xiaoxi, but now there's further complications, further mysteries. We see that Xiaoxi inherited his power from his mother, and that she's been using it to form her own investigation. She also has her own martial arts skills independently of Xiaoxi's. And we know how he trained to get his. We saw that in season 1. And so it's really cool that they kind of took a similar route, even being separated from each other. This season definitely did a lot for Chang's parents and answering a lot of that, because those were big questions in season 1, especially. We had a lot of big questions about Chang Xiaoxi's parents, especially when the earthquake episodes came up, because there was definitely the connections Chang was making to his own parents in that regard. And in season 2, I think we got a little bit more of that, but we're definitely getting a lot more in the Bridon arc. And I think in season 3 even more. I think we're going to really delve into that stuff more than ever before. And I'm just kind of wondering how this is all going to go, because like I said, so much was set up here. A lot with all of these new characters we're introduced to. And it's interesting because Wang Xing is in the opening, which, by the way, there was no opening this episode. They dedicated extra time to the actual episode itself, which I'm fine with. I'm completely fine with that. But Wang Xing is in the opening, and I'm like, I think I asked this last time. I think I asked this in the last episode. It's we still haven't seen who that is. That character still hasn't appeared. And it's I'm thinking that's gotta be someone that's going to appear in the final episode who's gonna bring in relevance. But it's kind of did appear in the last episode, because we saw her as a kid. I mean, obviously looked very different. I did not even begin to realize that was her. But, yeah. It's just a case of she's grown up. I mean, it's quite a long time later. So, makes sense that she would look a bit different. But yeah, it's really interesting nonetheless. Especially when Xiaoxi starts investigating everything, and you see how serious Chris gets before his mother, Mama Chang, joins the call. Let's put it that way. It's really interesting because there's a lot of really important stuff that we're just not privy to. And I feel like some people would be very disappointed and unsatisfied with that. But this is a series that is built on mystery. There is a lot of mystery to it. There's a lot of a lot of setup that will be capitalized on later. I have full faith in this series that it's going to answer all of this. That we're going to get these answers and we're going to get everything figured out. The even more interesting thing though is Lu Guang did what he had been saying is impossible. He changed a permanent node of death. Because that's what he had been like mentioning like throughout season 1 and everything, like season 2, that death is a permanent node you can't change. It's something that you just cannot change. That was a very big deal, especially during, again, the earthquake arc in season 1, when Chang wanted to save everyone. So now we're seeing that you can change that. That it is possible to change that. But now it kind of goes into question, what's that going to do? How is that going to affect things? Because Lu Guang broke every rule in the book. He broke literally every rule that he had for Chang Xiaoxi and everything for this. He stayed longer than 12 hours, a lot longer. He interfered. He changed the things going on. He did everything wrong, technically speaking. But it seemed to work out. So the question kind of comes into play, how's that going to affect things going forward? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say until we actually see what goes down, you know? And as always, just in case anyone's watching this who has read the manhwa that this is based on, no spoilers, please. I am Donghua anime equivalent only, so I want to I want to stay spoiler free. So please, no spoilers for the future. I want to see what's going to happen as it happens. Like I said, I don't know when season 3 is coming, but hopefully it's by the summer. It's supposed to be this year. I haven't talked too much about Felix in this. Felix is definitely a good boy. He's a good guy who really appreciates having made friends with Lu Guang and Chang Xiaoxi. And we see that he even regrets having spied on them for Liu Xiao. And yeah, I think with the fact that he has now disappeared, along with his former coworker, that's going to be big in season 3, I feel. At least I'm hoping. And then we definitely got to find out the contents of that letter, of that envelope that Vane had. The fact that Chris also went missing, and I presume they didn't find the envelope at the scene, she probably took it. Whatever is in there is probably a very big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal for Chang Xiaoxi's mother's mission, or if it's a big deal for other reasons, but it's a big deal. I just hope Felix is okay. I was really sad when I thought he had died, but I'm glad that he's just missing. I mean, I'm not glad he's missing, but you know. The scene where they were doing the photo shoot stuff was very reminiscent of the opening, too. It very, like how there's the part in the opening where it shows Lu Guang, Chang Xiaoxi, and Qiao Ling, like riding a bike, playing with bubbles and stuff, just, you know, hanging out and being friends. It reminded me of that. Which is probably intended, I assume. Because you don't really get much outside of the first episode with Qiao Ling in this arc, because it takes place in the past when they're in Bridon and everything, um, and she wasn't there. And we know she wasn't there because we know what that led to. This is like, this is just, it's getting really good. I mean, it's always been really good, but it's getting really good. Um, yeah, I'm very excited to see more of this. It's still one of my favorite shows, and I still, after this final episode, would definitely say that I place this kind of in between the two main seasons. I still think season two is better. Just season two is peak Link Click for me right now. But season one and Bride and Ark are both phenomenal as well. This is such a phenomenal series, such a fantastic narrative being woven. And I only hope that when season three does come, with the increased runtime, or not runtime, but episode count, we really start to answer a lot of these questions and start to work towards maybe even saving Emma and others. Like maybe that'll be kind of where it goes. Maybe like the idea is like now that Lu Guang knows we can save people from death, maybe we're gonna try to save everyone. We're gonna save Emma. We're gonna save the sister from season two. We're gonna save everyone. I mean I would be all for that. That would be cool. Um, I'm very excited because I don't know how much more is left in the story overall. Like, I don't know if season three would end up being the final season or if there would be more after that. I don't know. I don't know if the Dongwa or the manhwa is still going. I have no clue. And unfortunately, I there's not really a lot of places that I can find online to find info for this, especially without spoiling myself. So yeah, I'm gonna just have to do the best I can with waiting, with being patient. But this episode did answer some good questions, and the season as a whole was pretty fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on the season as a whole. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. And just as a reminder for next week. So, next week we're starting a bunch of new shows. We have 3 shows that are being replaced from our current schedule, as well as 2 new shows entering, because I'm kind of increasing our schedule a little bit. So, we're going to have 5 new shows starting next week. The only one, just as a reminder, that I'm letting you know about ahead of time, though, is the return of season 2 of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. All other shows will be secret until they come out. So yeah, thank you so much once again. For now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.